1 results that has been released today. So these results are for the formative ones that were submitted on Cole Campus from the 6th to the 12th of April, with the closing date being on the 12th of April. And just to repeat myself, no submissions were accepted via email. Only the submissions that were made on Cole Campus was marked, and no subs were granted to students who had not submitted due to technical errors, as you had 7 days in which you could have submitted and it could have made use of campus resources. Now, by now, you should know how to log into Cole Campus, and you can also see your individual assessment results on Cole Campus, as well as your rubrics with feedback. So there on the left-hand side, you can just see a reminder of how you should log into Cole Campus. Your login is your student number, 8 underscore your student number, and then your password is your ID or your passport number that you use to register with. On your right hand side, I have shown you before the Microsoft portal, but this is also the student portal where you can also see your results. So you can go onto login.microsoftonline.com, and then your login is your student number at myboston.co.za, and then your password is the capital letter B for Boston, followed by your ID or passport number, and then the exclamation mark. So you can get your individual assessment results on Cole Campus, as well as the student portal, and then thirdly through accounts. Now, all marks should already reflect, and in order to see your marks, your account must be up to date. If you go onto Cole Campus and you're unable to see your results, it means that your account is in arrears, and you must please go visit the accounts department in order to make a financial arrangement for them so that they can remove the financial block from your account. Now, please use Cole Campus not just to view your mark, but also to see your rubric with your individual feedback so that you see where you went wrong and how you can improve on the following assessment. Now, very importantly, do not look at that overall average on Cole Campus because it does not work it out correctly. You should only use Cole Campus to look at your individual assessment results. Once you have completed more than one assignment, then you can rather look at your student portal or the progress reports you can get from the accounts department or from admin to see your overall result. Now, where do you get your results? You can go onto Cole Campus and you'll see there's a little blue tick at this stage that you can use to click on, and then it can show your individual results at this stage. Now, as I said, use Cole Campus to rather see your individual feedback on your rubric. So how do you get that? You go onto Cole Campus, you click onto your subject, and then you will see the home page of your subject. Then on the right-hand side, you'll see there's a little thing that says recent feedback. So there you can see HRMT 432 Formative Assessment 1. You click on it, and then you will be able to see the rubric with your mark as well as the feedback given by the lecturer. Now, if you're able to see your mark, but you cannot see your rubric on Cole Campus, you're more than welcome to email the academic manager of that subject, and their email addresses is on the home page of each subject. And look at your marks and your rubric, and let's say you don't agree with something, a penalty was applied, or something was not marked, you can lodge an academic appeal. Now, academic appeals can only be lodged within 5 days of the release of results. So the closing date for academic appeals on the formative one is next week, Wednesday, the 8th of May. Because of the public holiday tomorrow, you have 1 extra day to appeal. So if you have looked at your results, you've read your rubric, there's something you don't agree with, you have to follow the academic appeal process, which is what we'll look at now. So as I said, an academic appeal is made for a specific assessment result within 5 days of the release of the result. Any appeal that is submitted after the 8th of May will not be looked at, as it has already been assessed and addressed and moderated, and the appeals have officially closed. Now, students cannot appeal a set of assessment events in any subject, so you can't just go, I'm appealing all of my subjects. You have to send an appeal for a specific subject for a specific assessment event. So it's 1 email per subject. You can't send me an email that covers all your subjects and say, I don't agree with my marks. It doesn't work that way. You have to send an email that says, Journalism 2, plagiarism penalty. I am querying the plagiarism penalty that was applied to my formative 1 in journalism 2. As it says, I did not reference, yet you can see there are in-text references available. Also, you cannot appeal overall results, but that is only applicable at the end of the year. Right now, you can only appeal a specific assessment for a specific subject, one at a time. So how does the appeal work? You send myself an email, karika@boston.co.za, and then you also have to include in the email your branch manager. If you're at Sandton, it's me, so you don't have to include me as well, because you have to email me. If you're in Pretoria, you have to include Taryn, or if you're in Durban, you have to include Brett. So academic appeals comes to myself as the academic coordinator, karika@boston.co.za. Then the subject line, you need to say it's an academic appeal, your surname, your first name, your student number, the subject, and the subject level. So for example, you say academic appeal for boy Karika 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, radio 2, formative 1. And then in the body of the email, you write clearly as well as succinctly exactly what you are querying about this assignment and why. Then from myself, it will be sent to the academic manager. They will review your appeal. Then they would send me an outcome, and we will make sure that you receive the outcome. So that is academic appeals. If you've looked at your mark, you look at your feedback, there's something you don't agree with, then you can send me an email that's called an academic appeal. You query it, it gets investigated by the academic manager, and then you receive the outcome. And please note, the closing date for the formative 1 appeals is the 8th of May. Now, I have explained this in the previous session, but just a reminder, some of you have now qualified for the formative 1 subs. Now, you can only qualify for the formative 1 subs if you have met one of the following conditions. A, you have participated in the formative 1, but your mark was not good. So if you have a mark of 0% and above, you are allowed to participate in the formative 1 sub, but you will have to pay 250 Rand per sub that you participate in. Criteria 2, to qualify in the formative 1 sub, you had to submit a supplementary request to myself, and the deadline was the 15th of April, that you missed your assessments due to illness or death in the family, and you attach your valid and legal documentation, and you were given permission. And then lastly, you can only participate in the sub if you were granted permission in writing by myself or the academic manager. If you decide to participate in the formative 1 sub and you have not met one of these conditions, the formative sub will not be marked and you will miss that opportunity. So as I said, if you had wanted to sub, you needed to have sent me an email, which includes the legal documents, and it should have been submitted within 48 hours of the missed assessment, and the last 48 hours was the 15th of April, which is now long past. Now, as I said, if you had qualified for the formative 1 sub because of a weak performance in your formative 1, you need to pay for the supplementary at a cost of 250 Rand per sub. You only get one chance to write the formative 1 subs. You don't get another sub on a sub. If you miss the sub submission, you miss it. There is no second chance. And also, you have to complete these formative 1 subs between the 18th and the 24th of May. Submissions will close on the 24th of May, and there will be no later submissions for these formative 1 assessment supplementaries. And then the sub briefs, some of them are already available, but all of them will be available from Monday the 6th of May. And as I said, supplementary submissions will be taking place from the 18th to the 24th of May. So now is your opportunity, if you had any questions, to go ahead and to ask me. Okay, don't be shy. Does nobody have any questions?
No
Yes.
question.
Okay, thank you, Nkabi. Okay, I'll just stop the recording. I like to have a one-on-one with you, please. Okay.